I'm here to talk about success, right?
Hey, I'm Avalon. Today I want to talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had an amazing speech, and I've always been a big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think we can learn really a lot here from his basic principles for his success, and that's what I'm going to cover in this video. Now, as I said, I've always been a huge fan. I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger being in the magazines when I was a kid as a bodybuilder, and then later on he was acting in the Terminator, and yeah, that was really when he became a big movie star. Of course, I've also seen the Conan the Barbarian movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time. So that's how old I am. That's how old I am. But we're gonna look into that, and I'm gonna show you the highlights of the speech of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm gonna tell you my feelings about what he has to say and my personal experience with the things he is talking about in this speech. Let's get started.
Because there's 6 rules basically that I always have laid out that are the rules of success.
So it's 6 rules of success that he will be talking about. And guys, I just love his accent. It's so amazing.
The first rule of success is to have a vision.
Without a vision, you're just floating around, you're doing things, maybe you're working hard, but without a vision, you're doing things and you're not getting anywhere because you don't really know where you're aiming. You need that vision. And I can relate to that because from my personal experience, let's say, for example, when I studied computer science, I had this vision of completing that and never ever doubted that I'd make it. It was just, I knew I'm gonna do it, and then of course it was also fun doing it. I really enjoyed programming. I enjoyed learning about programming, about building things and seeing immediate results. That's what the good things about computer science study is. And so I had this clear vision what I want to do, and I just did whatever it took to get there. There are other examples. Like when I lost 25 kilograms in only 4 months, I had that clear vision. I didn't want to be fat anymore. I did want to lose the weight. I wanted to get fit again. So you have to have the clear vision of yourself so that you're able to go where you want to go. Then also in the job, when I wanted to become a manager or a team lead, I had that vision. I wanted to guide my team, my colleagues to where the team has to be to success, and so I did what it took for success for the team, and that's how to become a team lead. Take the role, have the vision of what that role as a team leader or a manager, what he should be doing, what he must be doing, and do it. Execute the vision. And I'm also going to be very honest with you here. Where I really struggle with my vision is with what I'm doing right here with YouTube, with the gaming and esports. I'm not so clear what the vision is yet. It's rather a thing I stumbled into and I enjoyed doing it, and I wanted to build an esports channel, but I sometimes question if that's really enough for a vision, just to be a casting and esports channel. I'm not so sure where it's gonna lead in the end, and you can join me on that journey. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider to subscribe to Chief Avalon Esports and Gaming or to my StorySpotlight channel, and don't miss anything.
You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere.
That's exactly true. You drift around and end up anywhere. You have no clue where you're gonna end. Sometimes actually what I think about this, it's not only bad, it can also be a good thing. Sometimes you enjoy doing something and you get started and you get better at something and you don't have that plan where it's leading, and then things happen and big things can evolve from that, and you're surprised what's going to happen in the end, and it may happen good things, but it's just not planned. So if you have a plan what you want to achieve and you don't have a clear vision of that, you're not going to get there, but maybe somewhere else. Not saying it's bad, but it's just different.
Did I stumble on my vision?
Arnold also says he stumbled on his vision. That's what happens a lot of times. I imagine he stumbled on bodybuilding. He liked bodybuilding. He was a fan of that bodybuilder he admired. and the movie career that bodybuilder he admired made. And he thought, yeah, that's something I can do as well because I really enjoy movies and I enjoy bodybuilding. So he kind of stumbled on that vision. So it's that easy. Just do what you like and look for role models that did the same thing and see if that is something you want to achieve.
And they showed a documentary about America. And there they showed in this documentary the huge skyscrapers, the high-rises, the huge bridges. That's where I want to be.
I can so much relate to this. Growing up as a kid, living in the USA, that was the dream of many of us when we grew up. We saw those big things over there. The mentality like you can achieve whatever you want. You just gotta work. The American dream, that was always so tempting. So I honestly can really relate to that. Sometimes life turns out different. And so I didn't end up living in the USA yet. You never know. But of course, that was always a big dream of mine, living the American dream and living in the USA like he tells here in that short sequence. And also the thing here is, again, it's vision. He had a vision of how he wanted to live. And that's where he was going.
So I bought the magazine, I took it home and I read it over and over from the front page to the back. It had everything in there, how he trained, how he was working out in Leeds, and how he won the second Mr. Universe and the third Mr. Universe, and how he was discovered to play the starring role.
Arnold really goes deep into his idol that he admired, Reg Park, how he made his career. And I think what is in this here, that's very important. Whatever you want to aspire in life, look for who already has it and how they did it. Learn from them. Don't try to make it all on your own. That's going to be very hard. You have role models that already achieved what you want to achieve most of the time. So take their way. You just need to follow and improve the things they did, and you may eventually even get better than they were. Your mentors and your role models, find them and do what they do. Do what works.
This is the blueprint for my life. So it was just a question of how do you do it?
It was just a question of how to do it. Once you have that vision, that's really cool. You know where you want to go. But then the question is how to get there. But without a vision, you will not find the steps you need to get there.
Because when you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy.
Everything becomes easy once you have that vision and you know where you want to go.
They say, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face.
Why is it? Because he knew exactly where he wanted to go and why. The big why, that's always important, the big why. He knew exactly why he was doing it and what the goal was.
So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal.
This is very important. Every single step takes you closer to the goal, but you gotta do those steps.
He says, but you're bleeding. I said, because I don't feel it, because I can visualize what the scene will look like in a film.
Visualization that he mentions here is very important. Visualize yourself holding that trophy. Visualize yourself being at the goal where you want to go, because then your brain will start to work and your brain will make it happen. It sounds like magic, but that's really the only magic there is. If you visualize what's going to happen and where you want to go, you will think about ways to get there. Your brain will start finding ways how to get there.
So let me tell you something, visualizing your goal and going after it makes it fun. You got to have a purpose no matter what you do in life. You got to have a purpose.
Got to have a purpose. That makes it fun.
So that's rule number 1, have a vision. Rule number 2 is don't listen to the naysayers.
Don't listen to the naysayer. I can so relate to this, because whatever you will do, there will be people saying it's not possible, you don't have the talent, or all those excuses. And really the risk here is you take in those excuses and you start to believe them. So stay away from the naysayer. I remember when I lost my weight, many people thought I'm crazy and said, well, you should really not eat that much fat or meat. It's gonna make you fat, stuff like that. Or yeah, they ridiculed me, like, yeah, he's trying to lose weight, but it's not gonna work. It's just got that weird idea. It's not gonna work out, and don't listen to them. Just go your way and you will find success. It will work. And the same is true. I mean, imagine a world-class tennis player. I can relate to that. Not that I'm a world-class tennis player, but I'm thinking of Roger Federer here. Can you imagine when he was that 8-year-old boy playing tennis, how many people told him he's never gonna be that big tennis player? He should rather learn something else than waste his time on the tennis court, because you need so much talent to be successful, and then you get an injury and you're out. It's never gonna work. Do something else. I can imagine that hundreds of people told him, and he just went on his way, and that's really what it takes. Don't listen to naysayers. This is so important. Rule number 2. And often they do it because they didn't have the success in life they wanted, and if you get it, it kind of makes them feel like they should work harder and try to get it. So, but that is something that subconsciously, I think, works, and so it may not even be aware that they're holding you back. But one thing I want to share with you, my thought about this. When you're old, they will have regrets. You don't want to share their regrets because you didn't do what you wanted to do, so that you just feel accepted, and then you have the same regrets. You want to be the person that doesn't regret for not trying what you love to do, and let the others keep their own regrets. Don't listen to the naysayers.
Don't listen to the naysayers. Everything I ever did, the thing that I heard out of people's mouth was, that's impossible.
Yes, impossible.
That can't be done. Or no. I remember when I wanted to be a bodybuilding champion, including my parents and everyone else around me, said this is impossible.
Everybody will say it's impossible.
Someone said to me, it can't be done. I heard it can be done.
Practice that attitude. That's such a good advice. When somebody says you can't do it, just do it.
When they said no, I heard yes. And when they said it's impossible, I heard it is possible.
Be a strong believer in yourself.
That everything is always impossible until someone does it.
That's a good one. Everything's always... I really love that. Because it's so true. It's just impossible because nobody has ever done it before.
Well, I'm going to be the one, I said to myself. I'm going to do it and I'm going to show it to them. Maybe it has never been done before.
This is, by the way, a very good motivation for yourself. If somebody says it's not possible, motivate yourself by saying, I will show them it's possible. I had that so many times. I remember a teacher in school that said to me, well, he will never be good in school. I did a lot of dumb stuff at the time. And so the teacher said to me, or to my parents, but I heard it, he will never be successful. And I wanted to prove him that he is wrong. And that can be a very big motivation too. I'm going to give you here an insight, like in your job, maybe you're still at school, but I think you can relate to this too. But there will always be people that say something is not possible. And the thing to ask them is, so what does it take to make it possible? Maybe we can make it differently and it will be possible. Maybe there is another way to make it possible. If you just keep pushing, I really had that experience with a guy. I really learned that from him in my professional career. He was running against the wall with his head, literally, like saying, why is it not possible? We got to do it. And everybody kept saying, no, we can't. And he came another time and said, it's got to be possible. There got to be a way. Think, we got to find a way. And they said no. And he tried again and said, there got to be a way. You got to find it. And then all of a sudden, people found ways and it worked. I learned that so many times in my professional life. So just keep trying and find ways and things will be possible.
They told me this, and your accent, even if you reduce all your body weight and everything and have a normal body.
That hits home because I sometimes question myself too because of the accent. But the thing is here that Arnold says later on in the speeches, it may first be something that people think it's different and they may not like it or they may like it. And you may start to think yourself that your accent is bad, or other people think you cannot have that role or that cast in my case, that esports cast in my case because of the accent, but then later on that becomes your trademark. The things that are special about you, those things will become your trademarks later on. Invest in the differences, not in the alike.
Your accent, I mean, it will go give people goosebumps. He says no one in Hollywood ever has become a leading man that had an accent. This is the kind of stuff that they heard. You name who can pronounce 𝗦𝗁𝗁𝗏 or something like that.
I can imagine he got so much people not wanting him and saying him it's not possible. And then look what he achieved.
I didn't give a shit.
That's really to the point what you have to do about naysayers.
I said there's enough room on that ladder that I can fit up there.
That's his two of the 6 rules for today's video. I have a vision. So guys, think about what your vision is and then ignore the naysayers. And even when you start working on your vision. We're gonna have the other 4 goals in the next video. Now, please leave a like for this video and consider to subscribe to StorySpotlight for more amazing videos and the next episodes of this Arnold Schwarzenegger speech that is really amazing. See you in the next video.